I have a confession. Are you triggered? Ladies and gentlemen, everyone in between, Merry Sunday! It is Sunday Preaching Day. Welcome, my name is Brian Pargo. Thanks for being here. I suppose if Sunday's a day of confession, we should talk about confession today. It kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I hear you. The difference is this. Remember, your feelings are yours. You're not giving them the power of having constructed your feelings. Now, at a minimum, at least, you're owning it. And that's a much healthier place in all of your relationships. Secondly, when you say, I am feeling, it gets you out of the victim identity or the victim mindset. It's like, you make me feel angry. You make me feel sad. Things happen too. And words matter. And if someone else can make us feel something, we're honestly almost like victimized by that, and it gives them too much power. Saying that you make me feel gives away your power. If you acknowledge that something they said, like, oh, what you just said made me feel guilty, now they have a means by which to make you feel guilty, and how comes a great little manipulation to get them to behave the way you want or feel the way they want you to feel. Do you really want them to have that kind of power?
I confess to you and myself that the word confession means to admit or state that one has committed a crime or is at fault in some way. To admit or acknowledge something reluctantly, typically because one feels ashamed and or embarrassed. In relationships, let's face it, we're always confessing. We're confessing we didn't do the dishes. Or we confess we didn't pick up the mail. We confess we're late because we almost ran out of gas. We confess that we got drunk on the weekend and stubbed our toe. Confessions. I mean, everybody confesses, right? We confess our love to our family and our friends. I love you.
We're smiling is because of you, Barney.
I love you. You love me. We're a happy family. Let's talk about confessions. I have a confession. Are you triggered? I'm just curious. When we hear the words, I have a confession, I have to confess, does it not fill us with a little bit of panic? I know it does. When people say, I have a confession, the first thing inside of us goes, but it's not a superpower. We're not wrestlers. You know, we don't actually have superpowers. That's my confession. I have no superpower. I own those words. Those are my words. Did you feel triggered by the word confession? Are you going to tell me that my words triggered you into a feeling? What kind of confession is that? Hey, I feel something and it's your fault. You said the word confession and I panicked. That's your fault. Is that a confession? When you confess your feelings and you blame others for it, is that a real confession? Or are you demanding a confession out of them? I'm going to pop up a little text message on the screen. Now, people I know, they'll say, I didn't say that. You always get us for words. The word I used is interchangeable with the real word I used. And even though I didn't mean that, what I really meant was this. And I didn't mean that. That's not what you think I meant. What you really think I meant was actually this. Is that a confession to anybody? Or is that just a middle finger to you for their feelings? Or is that them just telling you you're the one to blame for what they feel? You might start to feel crazier if it's in a text message and they tell you you're insulting me for no reason. The cognitive dissonance starts to kick in and you start to think they're crazy. And if you read their words, they are crazy. You say, well, what do you mean you see what I'm doing through a text message? Are you having visions? And they're like, are you attacking my mental wellness? Roar! Now they've gone from telling you you're trying to get them on your side when you said, ignore me if you want. And they say that they can read your mind. They have visions of what you're trying to do. They never said what they just said. They said something different. And it's all on text. You know what? Get rid of that person from your life. If they're not in your life to begin with and somehow they've just jumped in, or maybe you've sent them a message and you said, hey, guess what I did? I had a good day. This is kind of funny to me. And they're like, I know what you're doing. You're trying to get me against somebody. You're mean. You're rude. I'm a mind reader. Stop putting words in my mouth. You're trying to get me to do this or say this. Stop putting text messages in my texts. On my own text messages, the just craziness and the dissonance just goes, rah! Block, gray rock, stonewall, silent treatment. Get that person out of your life.
Forget about it. Forget about it. Forget about it, you know? Just forget about it.
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
All right. Thank you very much.
Block, block, block. If you say, I confess my love to you, and they say, I feel crappy and it's your fault because you said you love me. What are you doing with that person? They're toxic. They're narcissistic. Get them out. Confessions are admitting our roles in our life and confessing what we've done or what we didn't do, what we left out, what we put in when we shouldn't have. Did you put in love? Are you saying I love you because you put the time and the effort in? Are you saying I love you because you put the time and the effort in with the dishes? Are you saying I love you, I'm sorry I didn't do the dishes? Are you going to say I love you, I didn't do the dishes, it's not my fault, I'm sorry. It's not my fault I love you. It's not my fault I didn't do the dishes. I'm sorry. It's not my fault. What are you confessing? Are you confessing blame on the other person? Are you saying that you didn't do it because of them? Are you saying you didn't say that because they put the words in your mouth? Are you saying you didn't do that because they did it? You didn't say that because they said it. You didn't text that. They texted that. You're putting words in my mouth. In a text? How crazy? How much power does a person have? How much power does your confession have that you put words in their mouth? How is it that when you say, I feel sorry, I feel angry, I feel hurt, I feel love, how is it they say, you're putting words in my mouth? That's not possible. We don't have superpowers. Confessions don't grant us access to the innermost feelings and innermost soul of every human being you come in contact with. Your confession isn't going to heal the soul of that person. It's not going to change their feelings. It's not going to change their words. It won't change their text. Just because you call something out as truth, they're going to tell you, that's not what I said. They're not even listening to you. They're hearing words that are from visions in their mind. People with narcissistic personality disorders, they suffer from visions of grandeur, visions of being a martyr, visions of being a victim. They're always a victim. They're always a martyr. People are always out to get them. They see what others are doing, and they're always on the defense. And as soon as you tell them you did this, they say, I didn't do that. You did that. I didn't abuse you. You abused you. I didn't say those words. You put those words in my mouth. This is emotional mental abuse. This is something that if you see the truth and you're one of those people who pretend they're a psychic and they pretend they're an empath and they pretend that they understand feelings of other people, if you start getting sucked into the feelings that come with other people's words, you're no longer an empath. You're toxic. You're caught up in some sort of narcissistic cycle of pain. I didn't say that. You did. You hurt me. My feelings aren't my fault. They come from you. You hurt me. I'm sorry this happened. I never wanted this to happen. It's not my fault. It's your fault. You did this to me. Confessions. Those aren't confessions. Those are lies. Those are gaslights. They're toxic. They're narcissistic. A confession is, I said you insulted me for no reason. The fact is you had a right to be upset with me. It appeared that I was trying to hurt you and you had a good reason to feel upset. I didn't put words in your mouth.
I'm stepping out.
I love you.
Love you too. Just so you know.
I didn't place feelings in your heart. They're yours. Your feelings are yours. Your words are yours. If I'm quoting you, you can't tell me you didn't say it. You're crazy. You are escaping reality. If you say, you insulted me for no reason, I never said no reason. In like a flash of a second, You're either trying to drive the person crazy that you're blaming for what you think and feel, and the person you're blaming for what you said is now starts to feel crazy because they're so caught up in your psychosis. The person hearing those words gets so caught up in the psychosis of, I said that, I didn't say that, I have it in writing, but I didn't say that, you have it recorded, but I didn't say that. This is why people who are gaslighted all the time start recording conversations. This is why we get people to text out in public and in the open, because behind closed doors, these people are toxic, narcissistic, they're gaslighters, they lie, they say something, they say they never said it, they feel something, they blame you for their feelings. You made me feel this way. None of that's true. I feel pain. It comes from a place that hurt me, a situation that I felt discomfort, and it didn't make me feel happy. None of that comes from other people's feelings. When you say, I see what you're doing, and you insulted me for no reason, you can't turn around and say, I never meant to say you insulted me. I never meant to say no reason. You can't say, I didn't say no reason. You have to say, I blamed you for my feelings, and I told you you insulted me for no reason. But the truth is, I feel insulted for no reason. And the words that came out of my mouth, even I don't understand them. You didn't put the words in my mouth. I did. And I have no idea where they came from. So this confusion, this misunderstanding, the confession is, I'm going to place my blame on you. I didn't say that. You're misrepresenting my words. You're misunderstanding my words. I didn't say that. You don't remember that properly. You're misremembering. It's your fault I feel this way. It's my fault I feel this way. And I choose to ignore it now. I choose to ignore the gaslighting. I block the lies and I block the gaslighting. And therefore, I stop the feelings of craziness from happening that comes with having to deal with when people confess your feelings. When people confess your responsibility for their words. When people confess your responsibility for their feelings. This is not a confession. This is not a confession. This is gaslighting, lies, blame shift. This is toxic. This is narcissistic. This is unhealthy. And you need to find a way to accept your feelings, to accept where they come from. And don't accept blame from others. Don't accept that you put those words in their mouth. Don't accept that those feelings came from you. You have enough crap to deal with. Holding on to your own emotions, understanding your own emotions. We have enough garbage and baggage to deal with in our own emotions without a toxic, narcissistic person saying, it's your fault I feel this way. You put those words in my mouth. Forgive yourself for their feelings. Forgive yourself for what they said. It's not your fault what they said. It's not your fault they feel that way. You didn't abuse them. You didn't lie to them and gaslight them. You didn't blame them. That's all coming from their toxic confessions. That are confessions. They are confessions. They're true. If you listen carefully to those words, the words they say to you are truly what they feel inside. This toxic, narcissistic, personality disorder person, when they say, you hurt me, it's because they feel pain for what they've done. When they say, you're abusive, it's because they feel like they abused you. And those feelings, they can't handle, so they always push it back. You put those words in my mouth, you put those feelings in my heart, therefore, you're my abuser. And if I have to keep feeling feelings when I talk to you, you're still my abuser. And talking to you just continues to abuse me. You're not responsible for their feelings. We are not responsible for their feelings. You are responsible for your feelings. And please say the words, I am responsible because I love me. I'm responsible for my feelings because they're mine and I love my feelings. My words are important to me. My words are my truth. I will not deny that I said them. If I deny the truth, I deny myself. I deny my own reality. I never said that. If I say I never said that, I'm no longer real. I'm just accumulation of outside factors that come from other people. None of that's true. That's not a real confession. Say, I love you because... And then remember everything you did. Everything you did for them. Everything you've done for them. I love you because remember everything you're doing right now for them. You're working, you're cooking, you're cleaning, you're doing dishes, you're walking them to school, you're picking them up, you give them medicine when they cough, you rub their back when they have a headache. You love them because... You feel guilty because you're in this together. You feel attacked because you have feelings, and your feelings and you are in this together. You're not attacked because you read something on a screen. You're not attacked by a spider picture because you have arachnophobia. The picture doesn't know you have arachnophobia. The picture doesn't say, boo, I scared you. I know you're afraid of spiders, therefore I'm responsible for scaring you because I'm a picture of a spider and your feelings came from looking at me. Now, if you looked at me and you saw fear because I'm a spider and you have arachnophobia, therefore I'm responsible for your fears? If you looked at a word and if you heard somebody speak and suddenly you are full of fear and you feel like you're hurt, are you being abused from that picture of a spider? Are you being abused from the words on the screen? Are you being abused from the words out of their mouth saying you hurt me because you feel feelings? There's no abuse happening from that picture of a spider. Your fear, that arachnophobia, that disgust, that heart rate, the blood pressure, the sweating, the desire to run away.
Expect him for months! We didn't even know that he had been cleared to get back in!
That's not because you're abused. That's because you're looking at a picture of the things that fear you the most. And when you stare down hell and you stare down the devil,
Fallen one, I am Satan. I am your god now. There is no escape.
Jake! Did you hear the news? A war just broke out up on Earth.
Could I talk to you over here for a second? I don't see why you have to belittle me in front of people like that.
Aye, relax, guy.
Well, sometimes I think you don't have any respect for me.
Come here, guy. Who's my cream puff?
I am.
That's right.
he scares you. You'll blame the devil for everything. And you'll run away because you take no responsibility for where you are. If you're walking through hell and you stare down the devil and you said, I belong here, and you don't scare me. What power does the devil have over you anymore? He's got nothing. The devil's got nothing on you, amen, hallelujah. If you want to stand up and clap, go ahead. If you want to stand up and say, your words have no effect on me, your words are not my words. Your feelings, devil. The devil, the sin that's in you, that doesn't belong to me. I don't belong in hell for your words. I don't belong in hell because you fell from heaven and you feel the pain of the broken bones and you feel the pain of the sin and you feel the pain and the hurt that comes. Don't blame the devil. Don't blame God. Just heal. Close your eyes. Say a prayer. Say, accept. I accept the things I can't change. That's a confession. I accept that these feelings are mine. That's a confession. I accept my words came out of my mouth. That's a confession. Stand up and confess. Say, I love you. Stand up and confess, I love you. Is there anything left to say? I feel attacked. You put those words in my mouth. This is psychosis, psychopathy. I don't know what to call it. This is toxic, narcissistic, abusive, blame shifting. I accept where my feelings come from, and I love all my feelings. I love the hate. I love the sadness. I love the joy. I love the loss. I love the regret. It's all a part of life, and that's the truth. And if you can't confess that your feelings of pain, suffering, joy, and happiness all come from you, and you say, you put those feelings in my heart, and I feel this way because you're abusive, and I didn't say that, you said that. You're not living your life to your full potential. You're confessing you have no power over your own emotions. You're confessing that they're responsible for your feelings. You confess they are responsible for the very words flowing out of your mind, through your fingertips and onto your screen. You say, I didn't say that. You're putting words in my mouth. Oh my God, are you confessing responsibility? Or are you confessing that you have no power? Stand up. Confess. You have power. My words are my words. My feelings are my feelings. You can't put words and feelings into my mouth. This is my confession and my truth. Own it. Believe it. Confess it to the mountaintops and heal out loud. If you don't like what I say today, just move on. Move on. If you don't like the feelings that come from me preaching at you, move on. Scroll. Swipe left. Swipe right. I don't know anymore. Just scroll on. Don't blame me for those ugly feelings that rise up inside you. Every time you say, I didn't do that, you're putting words in my mouth. Bleh. Every time you say, you're putting words in my mouth, you're confessing you have no power. Take back your power. Confess it. Confess it. My words are my own. Confess I love you. Confess I hate you. Confess it. Confess I'm angry with you. Confess I'm hurt by you. Confessions. I hurt. I am in pain. I feel this because I thought I was being attacked. I feel this because you attacked me. I see what you're doing. Don't call me crazy. I see what you're doing. I feel attacked because you sent me this. The big difference between confessing your feelings and confessing you have no power. I feel hurt because you said that to me. I feel attacked because I think you want me to do something, and I don't want to do what I think you want me to do. You're putting words in my mouth. I didn't say that. I see what you're doing. Stop it. You're abusing me. That's not a confession. It's confessing a lack of power. You're literally giving up your own power and blaming the gods and blaming fate and blaming an outside force for everything you say. You put those words in my mouth. You're blaming the outside force for those feelings. I feel abused when you contact me. Stop contacting me. Stop abusing me. Confess that I feel hurt today. And then when you're done, hopefully you can say, I have to confess, I still love you. And if you look at yourself in the mirror today, confess, hey, I feel hurt today, but I have to confess I still love myself. I feel hurt, pain, joy, and sorrow all together, and I still love myself. That's my confession today. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your Sunday. Brian Pargo. Bless you. Our friends, I love you.
The reason we're smiling is because of you, Barney.
Talk about confessions. I have a confession. Are you triggered? When we hear the words...
We didn't expect him for months. We didn't even know that he had been cleared to get back in. Oh, Johnston.
I'm invisible. We bring out our superpower. You can't see me.